Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk, and I'm going to need everyone to put on their carry pants. Get your carry pants out, whether they're comfy pants or red or yellow, whatever they are. Put them on. Your rally cap, turn it backwards. Here we go. Later Klaza. Later Klaza. I looked that up once. I can't remember what it was. Clan Harms. Clan Harms. So here's Later Klaza. Clan Harms. In his Foch 155, this is... What is this tank now? It used to be in the tech tree, now it's not, and I don't even know what they would call it. It's not really a reward tank. It's an extra tank. A special tank? I don't know. I was going to say something like you can't get it anymore, but that's not exactly true because black market, they sold it. So whether later Klaza got his from the black market or he ground to it earlier, I don't know. It's a crit damage into the IS-7. He's being very careful on what he shoots here. I think I would have moved up in the bush just to see exactly where this IS-7 was and if there was a way to thread some shots in there. He is searching it, but this is the right answer for not being spotted. I just don't think they're going to spy here. The E-100's moving up. He might be able to. If you look at the circles, the E-75 and IS-7 are so far out of it, but I suppose potentially if somebody happened to be closer, he's not going to be seen. The IS-7 is going to get tired of being shot from that bush, and he's going to start putting something in there pretty soon. Finally gets one in on him for 787 and goes to heat because he's got a lot of armor to chew through down there. Now, I don't think I have any gameplay of the Foch 155, which, as I was saying, was recently sold on the black market. So there'll be a lot more of these in the game. I have one, but I ground through it the first time. It's now the Foch B, I believe, at tier 10. And this is an autoloader. The knock against it is that it does have a hard time penning, and it has a really long reload, and the intra clip is something like 3 seconds, so it's not like it's going to machine gun you down, but it does have what 2,250 capability in its clip, which is a lot of damage. But the knock again is that it has a hard time penning. Now he's got the heat going on, so he's going to have some more pen. Puts one into again the IS-7 for 755 this time, and then watch this poor guy. Boom! Oh boy. Down goes the Caernarvon AX. Absolutely eats it in 2 shots. One from later, I believe the other one from the E-100. And he is done. So clip management on the 155, especially on the tanks that have a really long reload like this one does, is an interesting thing. And he's sitting there hoping that he gets another shot. I think after the shot did not show up pretty quickly, I would have hit C and forced the reload here. The problem is that he gets an odd number of shells, meaning that he would reload 3 and have 4 in reserve right there with his gold round. So it is a bit of a trick, something to think about. Hindsight says he had plenty of time to reload right here. I think I probably would have done it myself, but watch what happens here. I think it's going to happen here in just a minute. The IS-7 is going to take a little poke at the bush and get a bit lucky. It does get annoying when you're on that side and this bush is absolutely wrecking your face. The other side doesn't really have a similar bush. You can see it, it's back there, but it's not nearly as good as this one happens to be. So he's just sitting here waiting. I guess one of the reasons I don't show a lot of Casemate TD gameplay, because this is a lot of what it is, sitting in bushes and waiting for guys to get lit. And that's fine. You know, he's not able to push. This is a decently armored tank and pretty good mobility. It actually got a nerf a few years back when it was absolutely overpowered and people were raging around in them like mediums, just machine gunning down people. There's the IS-7 who decides to take a guess and is rewarded with 428 damage off of the IS-7. Artillery going after the UNR. So now he's going to force the reload. But as I was saying about the Foch 155, it was nerfed a while back, then taken out of the game, and a bit of a novelty at this point. And it's decent at pushing as an assault TD, but as you can see, there's 3 artillery in the game. There's an E-100, an IS-7, now we've got a Sturv and an E-75 taking the hill. Pushing up for it at this point really isn't an option. It wasn't earlier either. So he's just going to play the patient game in this push. It gets a little bit exciting here. The E-100 makes a runner. He says, I am an E-100. I cannot be defeated. Nobody will defeat my armor. Watch me go as I cross. Oh, I didn't need those hit points anyway. Let me just get... I didn't need those either. Screw you guys. I'm an E-100 and... Damn. Guess what? There's an FV-215 back there, as you might have guessed. So you can see right now he's actually out of draw range. interesting decision right here. For a long time, you decided to stay back the 15 feet so you wouldn't get lit. But this one, you accept and take the shot. And that may have been a timing thing there, but I think I might have myself tried to pull back a bit. Now we've got the Sturv coming out. You have 2 shells. They're making a push. It's time to bring your firepower to bear. Boom, down for that guy. Shot comes in. We're getting reloaded, and we're going to come back out and see what we can do. The E75 is a one-shot to us, so let's just see. No, he takes a shot and bounces. Nicely done, and right in the lower plate. Down goes the E75. 4,317 damage, and that's what these massive alpha autoloader kind of things can do in this game. Closest thing really to the WT E100F whatever, WTF E100, whatever that thing was back in the day. This is basically its poor cousin, not nearly as good, but can do some of the same thing with some fairly high hit point heavies and high tier tanks just getting munched alive by this thing. So 2 kills. The E100 is still there. He's got an FV in the back and an IS-7, and we're waiting for a reload. So I'm going to speed this up because, again, one of the reasons I probably don't feature too much TD gameplay is it's a lot of sitting in a bush. It really is. Up in the north, his team has finally figured out how to track down the 2 guys there. Look, watch this. Boom. One shot and boom. When that guy came around the corner, it took the first hit. His turret kind of swung around like he was saying, "What just happened?" Well, Foch just happened. The IS-7 takes another poke at him. There goes the E75, much like the E100, saying, "There is no way you can hurt me. I am an E..." Never mind. I am also dead. And now it's just later claws. And he's got to wait at this point for his buddies. They're in great shape. It's not won by any means. Looks like he's going to force a reload right here. I think that's the right idea. We'll go fast. The enemy artillery kills themselves because that is what artillery players do. Unknown why. Bulldog gets killed, and now we're reloaded. And he's waiting for his team to come around. The Progetto 46 gets up to the cap, but they have a T-44 spotting in the middle right there. And God knows what the IS-7 and E100 have done. My guess is they've fallen back. That would be my guess. The Object 277 is along the bottom edge of the hill right there. He might be trying to come up to the top, not sure. They're tracking down the T-44, and later is going to move up to this next hold down spot and see if he can start finding these guys. Probably in his mind too, he's thinking, well, I imagine one, maybe both have pulled back. Maybe one is watching for me. The other's pulling back to see if they can't get some shots on the guys that are pushing onto the cab. The poor T-44 is about to get jumped on. He's doing his best to survive, but he's got 3 tanks on him. The Object 277 is now up top, so he's going to be coming around the corner between him and later they should be able to handle this. The T-44 dies, but the 212 Alpha gets their Panzer, their WT Alpha. Panzer IV, and now we're going to come around here and see what we can find. I sort of expected to see one of them sitting there, but they're not, so that more or less clinches it. They've fallen back. Probably down in the pit down there in that ravine, but he's going to be smart about it. He's going to give one more little peek around this corner and see if he can't find these guys just sitting out in the open, but they're not, so interesting. There are still 2 artillery he has to worry about. Those trees are giving him a little bit of cover, and here comes the poor E100. E100's thinking like, oh man, what? Wait, spotted. No, doesn't matter. Was spotted. Down he goes. The Object 277. I don't know why that guy just didn't push into it. The artillery ends up hitting later. I don't know if he got spotted there or he doesn't have 6th sense. That was kind of strange to me, whether it was a guess or I missed the 6th sense icon. I don't know. I might have just pickled that shot off for giggles, but he comes over, gets himself covered up. 277 is still, I don't know, again, I don't know what the 277 is doing. This is pretty funny right here, and I fully support what happens. We're going to speed this up as we get in there. The 277, or the IS-7 is on 259 hit points. 277, for whatever reason, just plays patty cake down here with this guy instead of going in and killing him. And later says, whatever, y'all take care of this IS-7. I got some artillery. How about that guy? I'll just ignore the 277. We'll come around here, we'll auto-aim this guy, and how about that guy? Yes. Nice. So to top it all off with a 7,000 damage game, 6 kill Top Gun, he adds a Pascucci's with his Foch 155. Now I want you to pay attention to the damage column when it gets to it at the end when I show you the battle report, because this was an epic carry. It really was. His team did a whole lot of nothing otherwise. That's not true. There were guys with some damage, but just look at how far the second damage guy is. Add up how many guys it took to equal the 7,075 that later Claza did with his Foch 155. Pretty much the perfect setup for him, right? A nice bush, lots of high hit point guys to shoot. They allowed him to shoot most of his clips at them. Didn't have to do a whole lot of futzing around with the reloading. So, hey, you know what? If they set him up like that and you can knock him down, that's fantastic. Thanks for sending that in, man. That was an epic game. I do appreciate it. For everybody else, we will see ya.